Hey, hi everyone. All right. Ah, okay. I'm hoping this is working. I don't know if it is or not. I'm just going to trust it and say yes. Last week I had some very intentional tech challenges. So here we go. Anyway, here we are. So today is all about thinking on your feet. Good morning. By the way, I'm Minna. And welcome to the Playroom. And this is where we'll start our day off with confidence. And I know it's Monday. Hey, hey, new week. It's Monday. That means nothing. You don't have to attack it. You don't get like ready to roll. Do what's going to feel most authentic to you today. And that may mean taking it easy. That may mean starting your day off observing, noticing what you notice, sort of easing into the week with presence rather than an expectation to perform. So that will be my my encouragement to you as we sort of engage in today's playroom. So thinking on your feet. I want to take a second and just like think about that phrase, thinking on your feet. And when I think about it has a connotation to it, right? It's like think on your feet, come on, think on your feet, think on your feet. And I think it's really important to understand that it doesn't necessitate quick necessarily, and thinking on your feet also doesn't mean clever. It doesn't mean always right. Um, Thinking on your feet is not about knowing what to say, which I think is a misconception. Um, Thinking on your feet. Oh, this. React. Now, there is implied agility here. Um, but thinking on your feet isn't about knowing what to say. It's about knowing what is being said. Because thinking on your feet, implying agility, implying responsiveness, implying inhale, exhale, listen, respond, right? That's what thinking on your feet implies. And we do this throughout our week. Ask me, respond, question, I don't know, here's a solution, right? We do this all week, thinking on our feet. But it's not about carrying with us the correct answer. It's not about when someone asks us, we're like, perfect, I have the answer, right? We're not storing it here. Thinking on your feet, the ability to respond with agility, all the information you need is outside, not inside. So it's not about having the perfect thing to say, it's about responding to what is being said. That means active listening is one component of thinking on your feet. So I need to be present in what it is that is going on around me. If someone asks me something, I cannot respond if I'm not paying attention. I cannot take action if I don't know what I'm taking action toward. So when thinking about thinking on your feet, when thinking about adaptability and agility and responsiveness, the very first component of this, again, it's not knowing what to say, it's listening actively. Listening for the information, listening so that you can respond in line with what is being said so that it all feels like it is in flow. Breath flow, body flow, brain flow, confidence flow. So really listening. It sounds so simple, but we put a tremendous burden on ourselves to have all of the information. We cannot possibly. We presume, we expect, we anticipate, and that is phenomenal phenomenally wasted energy. We need to do a little bit of that depending on the context, but ultimately, all the information you need is outside of your head to listen, to respond, to be present, to show up in a meeting and give the best impression. All the information you need is outside of you. And the only way you'll get that information, harvest and mine that information, is through active listening. One of the key components of active listening, so that's one thing I want you to take with you this week, active listening. One of the key components there is, surprise, breath. I cannot listen. I cannot receive. I cannot retain. Good morning, Isabella. I cannot retain information if I'm not listening, if I'm not breathing. It will literally stop the flow. So inhaling to inspire, exhaling to express. So it's that flow that will allow you to think on your feet, because the flow will get the brain going, right? So it will unlock all of our beautiful hidden creative power. But we got to be breathing to do that, and we have to be listening intently with intention. So active listening. So we're not just, right? We're like, I see you. I see you. I hear you. I'm processing. I'm aware. I'm synthesizing. I'm putting it together. I'm doing this as the conversation's going, even if I have no expectation to insert my voice. Thinking on your feet does not imply constantly contributing. It means being available to respond and take action when the moment is called for. Who knows when you might be called to action either by yourself or by somebody else explicitly. Moment of inspiration, think on your feet. Someone calls you to action, think on your feet. But you can only do that if you're actively listening, and you can only actively listen if you're breathing effectively and fully. Inhale to inspire, exhale to express. So that's the first thing, active listening. Now, thinking on your feet happens in two parts. So the first part is listening. Yay, covered it. Second part is responding. There we go. Simple formula. Listen, ooh, respond. Aha. So listen and respond. Now, the response part is what I want to focus on today. Because we can listen all day. We can have all the information come into us, and that's amazing. And we do that, right? We'll be sitting on calls or in Zoom, and we're receiving. We're a culture over the last couple of years that has been conditioned to receive. Sit back and take it all in, right? In so many different capacities, but for sure in the Zoom capacity, I can be a passive participant in this process of watching things unfold. So I want to shift that, make us active participants, both in our active listening. So again, even if we're not responding, we can still be active participants. But then in order to take it one step further, to be able to think on our feet, to be able to respond when called to action, either again from ourselves or explicitly from others, we have to create habit around saying yes. What did I write here? A willingness to take action. So when someone calls to you, hey, Minna, and if your response is, what just happened? I arrested my breathing and I stopped the flow. So this idea of agility and thinking on my feet and listening and responding is lost. So the willingness to take action means when someone says, Minna, yes, hey, what's up? How can I help? I'm here. Yeah, willingness to take action. And action doesn't mean anything big and bold. It means an ability to connect the intuition, so our deepest point of truth, to our voice and intention. So connecting intuition to intention. So when someone says, hey, I say yeah. Thinking on your feet, right? that can only happen if I'm connected to my breath. Here's why. Let's have a body session. So when you're in your meeting next, in the next meeting, in the next whatever session, I want you to put 20% of your attention on breathing. When I breathe here into my belly, I am connecting to my truth center, my ability to respond. That doesn't happen here. That happens here. Oh, yay, right? It's not over-intellectualize the way I live my life, right? It's intuitive. Trust it. It will feel out of your control. It feels safer to live up here. But this is where life is. This is where aliveness happens. This is where your intuition lives. So as we're actively listening, as we're actively receiving all of this information, as we're active participants in listening, this is where the response comes from. When we think on our feet, we don't think up here, we think down here. So we have to allow the breath to come there, and then we hear, right? That's where it comes from. Oh, you know, right here, not here, here. So we have to connect here. So a willingness to take risk starts here, right? And when we feel resistant to that, that's because our breath has stopped. So I want to guide us through a really simple exercise to start embracing risk and honoring what I call the spark of yes. So again, thinking on your feet requires a holistic commitment to yes. And that doesn't mean yes at all costs, because you may say yes and then be like, actually, I take that back. That's a hard no, right? Yes does not mean go for it, with no expectation of safety or personal boundary, right? But we want to get in the habit of honoring the spark of yes, because too often we default to no. So when we think on our feet, active listening and willingness to take risks, to step into action, which means honoring the spark of yes. So this is the exercise I'm going to take you through. It's called Big Body, Little Body. I outline it in my book called The Confident Body. Surprise! Which will be out this month. So if you haven't yet, go to my website, energizeyourvoice.net, and go to the book page and just sign up for the waitlist so you get notified. Yeah, Isabella. Well, let's go on and do a little exercise, shall we? So here's big body, little body. All right, so first thing, you can see I'm standing here in my neutral posture. I know it looks like I'm not wearing pants because my couch is the same as my bottoms, but I am, I promise you. See, here we go. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to come into a teeny tiny little ball here, right? So I'm literally going to squish myself. So big body, little body. So this is the little body component. So I'm going to go into a little body. I'm still on my feet, but I'm really holding it, and I'm squinching my face too. Little body, the whole time, little body, okay? And we're going to keep breathing. So just because we're little doesn't mean we stop breathing, right? We're going to go little. At some point, you will feel the spark of yes and want to go big body. Okay, so that's the cue. We're gonna wait for it. Now, I'm gonna do this with you. So we got it. So we're going down, and then so here we go. All right, I'm gonna go down. Little body, little. Big. I'll do it toward the camera one more time. Here we go. Tuck it down. Little. Yeah, yes. Spark of yes, and it can be so subtle. Hi. Yes. Of course. No. Why? The spark of yes, right? The willingness to take the risk, to have the desire and cross that moment with confidence. That is a vulnerable space. It does take risk. It takes practice. So as you go through this week, actively listen. And then honor that spark of yes. Be willing to take the risk. Think on your feet, right? It's not about having the right thing to say. It's about knowing what is being said and preparing yourself to respond. That's it. So go forth. Here we are, 8:15, nailed it. Make sure if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications so that you know when we go live next week. Next week, we will be playing around with using the imagination. Creativity is a strong driver toward professional success right now, and I want to make sure that that is awakened and alive for you. So everyone, thank you for playing with me this morning. Oh my goodness. Thank you for starting your days with confidence. I'll see you in the next playroom.